Hello, friends. Mrs. Whitaker here. I am going to just talk you through all of the things in your learning bag. So, what I need you to do is make sure you have your bag ready to go, and we're going to go through them one at a time. You can pause this at any time that you need to get something or to break up the activities. Do not feel like you have to do this all in one setting. It's a great way to be able to have some different activities that you can go to and some different ideas that you can utilize. All right, the first thing in our bag is our book for this time, and it's The Gruffalo. This is a really, really fun story, and I am going to put the link in our messages so that if your grown-ups are unable to read this to you, or if you would just like to have Mrs. Whitaker read to you at another time, that link will be in there. So now that you have paused the video and either watched my reading of the Gruffalo or had one of your grown-ups read the Gruffalo to you, you are ready for our first activity. I'm going to get the next thing out. What you are going to need for this activity is your brown paper sack. I have 2 pieces of construction paper here. You're going to need those. You're going to need your glue stick that was in there. Remember, this is one of the items that we leave in our bag so that we can use it for other times for gluing at home. And our black crayon. That's all we're going to need. Now, if you remember from that story, there was, what was his name? The Gruffalo, that's right. And the little mouse was trying to trick him, wasn't he? All right, so your puppet, that's right, this is not an ordinary bag. You are going to make it into a puppet. This is a great thing that you can do with your grown-ups. So you will notice that I did not say anything about scissors because we're not going to use them. You're actually going to take these pieces, and I think I want to make his ears orange. So I'm going to we don't do this in class, do we, friends? Nope. But this time we're just going to tear this, and I think I want it to be kind of rectangles. See, I've got one. Now, how many ears do we have? We've got 2. So I think I want one more. So I'm just going to tear it out. Now, they don't have to be exactly the same, do they? So look, I've got my 2 ears. Now, I'm going to take my bag, and now we know that it opens this way. So that's where his mouth is going to be. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue. We know that we don't use a lot, do we? I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the top of my bag on the back. See, I've got my mouth on this side. And now I've got both of his ears on there. Now you can decide what else you want to put on there. I think the next thing I am going to do is I'm going to draw his great big eyes. And when we do our eyes, we're going to do great big circles. So see, I gave him 2 eyes. And that's the outside. And then I'm going to put dots on the inside, circles. So look, there's his eyes. I want to give him a nose. And I think for his nose, I want it to be yellow. And I'm going to make it like a triangle. So a triangle has 3 sides. So just kind of do that. See, we've got 1, 2, 3 sides on our triangle. So look, I can put his nose this way, or I think that kind of looks like a bird beak though, doesn't it? I'm going to have it up like this. So I'm going to put a little glue on my paper and glue it right on there. Great job. Then I think for his arms, I'm going to use the orange again. You can use whichever color you want, or you can make it maybe out of both. He doesn't have to look like he did in the book. You can make him look however you want, right? Because we're going to use our imagination. Great job. So I've got one arm there, and I'm going to give him another arm. I'm just tearing my paper, just tearing it out. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger on the bottom. So look, it looks kind of like he's got a little bit of hands over there. So I'm going to tear just a little bit more off of this. Okay, there we go. Now, got my arms going. This arm's a little bit, it's getting kind of small. He's going to be funny, but that's okay. It will be fun anyhow. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on my paper. We don't have to use a lot, do we, friends? Nope. I'm going to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to glue them. I'll show you. Got my glue on this paper, and I'm going to glue it on the back side just like I did the ears. So that, oh, look, there he is. He can wave to you. The really fun thing, now that you have made your puppet, you can use it to talk to your grown-up, or maybe your brother or sister or grandma or grandpa, and tell them about the story of the Gruffalo. Now, I know that you're saying, Mrs. Whitaker, I can't read all those words, and that's fine. But what you can do is you can tell them about with your puppet. All right, so that's going to be one activity that you can do with that book. Now, be sure before we go on any further, that's right, we've got to put the lid back on our glue. Now, I want you to go ahead and put that glue and that crayon back in your learning bag because you can use them for another time, right? Okay, now then, one of the things that I have included in the bag this time is one of your favorite things that we use in the classroom. And what is this? It's that magnifying glass. And how fun. What I want you to do is you are going to go on a letter and sight word hunt. So just like what you do with the big books, we're going to look. Oh, look. THE says the. All right. So now you are going to go on a letter sight word hunt with your grown-ups, and you're going to look through and you're going to say, oh, I found an H. And oh, I found a J. J. When you find those letters, I would love, love, love for you to not only say what the letter is to your grown-ups, but see if you can also tell them the sound. It will be so fun with your magnifying glass. All right, another scavenger hunt thing we can do, not even in our book, is going to be with this paper right here. This is called the Pantry ABC Scavenger Hunt. I've got big letters on one side and little letters on the other side. We're going to look at our big letters right now. I also have your whiteboard sleeve that we use a lot, what I want you to do is you're going to just slide this right down in there. We use this a lot, remember? So we keep it in our learning bag so it is ready to go. All right, we've got this. And what else are we going to need? Our marker, our dry erase marker. What you are going to do is you are going to look around in your cabinets at home, or maybe in your cabinets on the shelves. Look at some of the food labels to say, oh my goodness, that is soup. And when you find, let's say we found some soup, so that's going to be my S. So I'm going to make the letter S. Oh, it looks like Mrs. Whitaker may need a new marker in her learning bag. All right. Then I found some, oh, let's see, what else could we find? We could find some jam. There's my J. And you're going to keep looking and see how many letters that you can find on labels around your house. Grown-ups, another great thing that you could do with this, because it is so lightweight and easy to take with you, and of course the marker, as we know, can go right down in there. This would be a great thing to take in the car. They can look for letters on signs, on license plates, um, billboards, also in the doctor's office or anywhere where they're having to wait. Maybe a sibling is at a practice or a game. This would be a great thing to take with them, and they could go over and have an ABC scavenger hunt wherever they go. All right. So, speaking of those letters, you will notice in your bag this time, I know you're going to be really excited because we use these in class, right? All right. For our grown-ups that do not know, these are our wiki sticks, which is just kind of a fun word to say. Now, we don't leave them all together, do we? We're going to take them apart one at a time. So I think you should have 5 of them in your bag. So go ahead and take them apart. All right. Now then, let's start with the letter T. The letter T. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this side of my board just so that you could see it a little bit better. You don't have to do it on this. You can certainly do it just on the table at home. But let's make a great big T. So I'm going to put this down. Grown-ups, the great thing about these is they kind of stick to themselves. So I've got that there. Let's see if it'll stay up there. All right, on my board. Now I'm going to take another one and we make the big T. We cross at the top, don't we? So there's my T. I can also make it into the little t. Now the great thing about these is because they are, not only do they stick to themselves, they're really bendy. So let's try that tricky S. So I'm going to start bending it. Right. All right. There's my S. All right. See my S on there? So a great thing you can do with these, maybe you can see if you can spell your name with them. You could make shapes with them. Like I could put, just like we made the Gruffalo's nose, a triangle. I'm going to put 3 of them together on my board, And I've just made a triangle. So you can do letters, you can do numbers, you can do shapes with these. These Wiki sticks are so much fun for the kids to use. We also talked about maybe some of the words that you find in the Gruffalo. You could also see if you could make some words with those Wiki sticks, or at least those letters that we talked about. Speaking of letters, you'll notice that I've got my lined paper and my dry erase board again this time. So what you're going to do, I want you to practice that S. So you're going to make that big S. Make sure that it touches that top line all the way to the bottom line. And then let's make the little S. All right, there we go. See that it's right there on that dotted line? And let's see, let's go ahead. I'm gonna erase my little S and just leave the great big one on there. Let's tap out the word sun. N. We've got the S. What's the U. So write your U on your board. N, N, N. So right there on that line, I've got the letters S-U-N, sun. So up here where we've got our drawing space, I want you to draw a sun. So our sun is a circle. Then I'm going to make some big rays coming out from my sun. See, I've got my circle. There we go. So grown-ups, this is a great way, my eraser here, this is a great way to practice those letters. Also, maybe you want them to practice some of those words that they found in the Gruffalo. That would be a great thing to do. Also on the lines, they can practice writing their name, which is always good, writing those numbers. But a wonderful other thing to do is have them draw up there. Maybe just kind of see what things that they would like to draw and what interests them. All right, now then on the back, we've got this cute little ladybug. My lights are kind of reflecting, so it looks a little strange. There's my ladybug. Now what we're going to do, you'll also see I've got our dice in there and our cubes. Mine are what color? Yellow and green. Very, very good. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my dice. All right. What's my number? 3. All right. So I'm going to count out 3 cubes. 1, 2, 3. So now I've got 3 cubes. Now it's going to be a little difficult for me to show this while I hold up the ladybug. You will actually put them on the board, right, like this. But since it's a little hard for me to hold those up and hold this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dots. This is another thing that you could do. So on this side, I'm going to put 1. How many did I say? 3. Very good. 2, 3. So I've got 3 dots there. Down here, I'm going to write the number 3 because that's how many I've got on this side. Now I'm going to roll that dice again. Look what number I have. 2. So on my bug, remember you can use your cubes for this. I'm going to just draw my dots. 1, 2. And I'm going to write the number 2. Remember, we go zoop, zoop. I've got the number 2. Now it says 3. Oh, what's this? Gus the plus. 3 plus 2, Ellie, equals? Oh, I don't know. Now you can count your cubes. I've got dots here, so let's count my dots with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're going to put it right there. We're going to go over, down, circle, around. 3 plus 2 equals 5. So grown-ups, this is a great way for them to utilize their cubes, the dice, and get to have fun with math, which is what we like to do a lot of times in the classroom. You could also see what they could build with the cubes. And then maybe they can tell you a story about it. It is amazing the things that they will come up with. Maybe they can build something with their blocks and then draw it up here. I want you to feel free to use any of these activities, but also think, wait a minute, I could also use this to do something else. Until next time, be sure you put all of your things back in your learning bag. Have a great day, and don't forget to go out and play.